Now it's like you said, it's about winning games and winning the tough games. This is a game, it feels like a month ago, the Yankees lose.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm one of your hosts, Stacey. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use code all lowercase LockedOnMLB to win $50 instantly when you play $5. How cool is that? Also cool, look who's with me, my co-host, Brian McKeon. Brian.
I don't know if that's the word I'd use to describe myself. I would use that word to describe the performance by the Yankees.
Yes. I have things to say, but we need to say first before I say my things. Before we get started, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast on whichever podcasting platform you prefer to listen to us on. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube if you'd like to look at our beautiful faces, like our videos, hit the bell so you're notified when our videos go live. On today's show, we preview the 4-game set between the Yankees and the Red Sox. All the pitching matchups are set, so thank you guys. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it. We're going to look ahead to the rest of the schedule to see what the Yankees have to do to win the division. Basically, just win is what they really have to do. But first, speaking of winning, extra innings at home, it's a miracle.
Gutsy win. And hard to say if you looked across the river, well, not really across the river, but in Canada, both New York teams playing unbelievably gutsy wins. The Mets were no hit into the 9th inning and wound up winning. And the Yankees, I mean, the play by Salvador Perez in the 7th inning felt like one of those, oh, they're going to lose this game.
Yep.
That play only happens when you lose a game.
Yeah.
And you stay resilient, you stay in the game, giving up the run in the top of the 10th inning and then coming back and scoring. You don't see it a lot. You really don't. And you know, this team fought. They showed a lot of resilience. That feels like a bounce back win. I wish that I could give all of you an explanation of somehow, some way they're able to beat up really good teams and then they can't play against bad teams. I wish I can give you an example, but the Royals are a really good team, and showing fight like this and being able to win like this, really, really positive outcome. You have to love what you saw out of Gil. Really the whole team and the home run out of Soto. The only negative I can give you is still no home run from Judge. Not that I'm that worried, but you know, you do start to get a little. Is he tiring out? Is he slowing down? There's a little bit. Those questions are going to start creeping in a little bit.
Fun fact: Aaron Judge has not hit a homer since I turned 50.
Not good for you. Not a good sign.
I'll go back to 49 if it means Aaron Judge is going to hit a home run. I'll take a year off. That's fine.
You'll take one for the team?
I will. I'll definitely take one for the team. Now,
I don't know if I'm overly concerned. I just think it's one of those, is it fatigue potentially? And that's the problem they're in. Being in a divisional race, you can't afford to sit him.
No. You mentioned Gil. Kind of rough, especially that first inning. I mean, that really could have been bad, and he got out of it. So it was kind of rough for him, but considering all that, considering that he couldn't really find the zone for a while there, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 5 Ks.
Well, having no command and being able to get into the 5th inning, that's huge. And you don't really realize it until the game's over, and you look at it and you go, you know, wow, that's actually a really solid performance. That's a playoff start you die for, right? Yeah. 5 innings, 1 run, 2 walks, 5. That's a playoff game that you die for. He's really become one of the more consistent pitchers, and I think the more and more that he pitches this well, it proves that little bit of rest period they gave him, well worth it, and because he seems to have come back more energized. But B, it makes their decision of putting him in the bullpen or leaving him as a starter 100 times more difficult, especially with the way Stroman's pitching lately. You really don't have an answer at this point. I love what I've seen out of Luis Gil. I don't know how you can't. And really, it looks like you've definitely got your 3 starters to the postseason locked in. Yeah. Right now, it's like you said, it's about winning games and winning the tough games. This is a game. It feels like a month ago the Yankees lose. Oh yeah. Right. And to battle and stay in, especially after the run is scored in the top of the 11th. It wasn't a perfect win.
No.
That's by far correct. But overall, to win a game like this and to take a series like this, because it feels like every game they got into rubber match with, they don't win the series. And to win a series this way in a hard-fought game at the end, that is a massive series win for them, really, especially on, by the way, if you're looking at the standings, the Orioles lost in extra innings, which is a huge, huge plus because them losing in extra innings after the Yankees still come back and winning, massive for the standings, absolutely massive.
So the Yankees went 5-2 against the Royals this year because they beat them 3 out of 4 in Kansas City and then beat them 2 out of 3 at home. So pretty good against a playoff team. And like you said, we've seen that all season where they tend to do better against good teams. They play down to bad teams. Yeah. And it's odd because the Yankees aren't the only team that struggles with this. We've talked about it many times. There are no teams running away, really. If you look at the standings, the Dodgers and the Brewers and the Phillies doing well in the NL, not too far ahead of the Yankees. The Yankees are now tied with Cleveland again for the best record in the AL. Cleveland had the best record for a couple of hours, and then the Yankees won and tied them again. So they both have 84 wins, 62 losses. And it's just incredible to me that every top team had some sort of spell that kept them from really pulling ahead and making it so they were really far ahead of the other teams in their divisions. It's kind of strange just not to see at least one super team that's close to 100 wins by now or, pulling ahead of everyone.
Jazz Chisholm said it too at the end of the game. He said, no one's hot. Like no one in baseball is hot. And it's true. You got good teams for sure. Like the Yankees are 20 games over 500, 22 games. The Orioles are 21 games. Like there are good teams. But overall, no one has consistently played well all year.
Right.
It really is what they played consistently well, but not at a dominant level.
The Mets, since they called their team meeting, and what have they've won? Like 11 out of 13, and they had that run of how many in a row? And like you said, the game that they won in Toronto, ridiculous. I joked. I said, is Lindor going to end this no-hitter? And 50 seconds later, he hit the home run.
They're going to playoffs.
And I was like, oops.
There's gonna be playoff baseball on both sides of New York this year.
Poor Bowden Francis. 2 times you take a no-hitter to the 9th inning and 2 times you lose it on a home run. Has that ever happened to anyone in baseball history? Because that sounds like something that's never happened to anyone else.
I feel like if the stat existed, you would have heard by now.
Right. Like that is
they're gonna make the postseason. The Mets are gonna make the playoffs. I mean, it's both teams have gone on incredible runs. If you're the Yankees, it's weird. It sounds repetitive, but we keep saying this. You got to close the season out on a high note. Yep. You have to. You've got 3 or 4 series left, and we're going to go over them. You have to make sure Baltimore loses and you win. And you're going to have an opportunity, but it's not easy for the Yankees. They have a tougher schedule going out now than the Orioles.
So Reagan shut them down for a while. Soto got to him. Soto said after the game that he was pissed that the foul ball that he's like, it completely missed my shin guard. Just completely missed it. And so he basically hit that home run on 1 foot, which is amazing because
not surprised.
That was a big home run. You had Wells' sac fly to tie it in the 10th, Volpe running well. And I mean, that was a good throw, honestly. Yeah. I mean, that was a really good throw. And then Jazz with the walk-off in the 11th, kind of poetic that Bobby Witt Jr. is the one that threw it offline and allowed Jazz to score and win the game. And I put in the rundown, thank God, about Witt's throw. Bullpen, after Heel leaves, Heel's replaced by Hill. Come on. 1 inning, doesn't give up a run. Holmes gives up a run in his 1 inning. Canely doesn't give up a run in his 1 inning. Cousins gives up an unearned run, but he had that really big pickoff of Tommy Pham to end the top of the ninth, to fire them up. Like, that was awesome. And then my guy, Luke Weaver.
Outstanding.
I mean, what can you say? Unbelievable. Just,
he's been incredible.
I really think that they should consider having him pitch the ninth in games because it's just amazing what he's done. And he was like a guy that they added, right? That no one expected him to really do anything. Like they were just like, oh, cool. It's Luke Weaver. Who's Luke Weaver? Like no one knew No one who roots for the Yankees knew who Luke Weaver was.
Nope.
And he comes in and he doesn't look like the type of guy who's going to strike guys out, and he does. And it's just so much fun to watch. And hopefully I won't get copyright stricken for this, but it's only 5 seconds. Yeah, so.
Rush on the Yankees temporary closer or no? Because it seems like it.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's funny that he brought in Holmes and he gave
him a run. Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising.
I was like, why?
I think Holmes will make the playoff roster because they need bullpen arms, but it's still going to give me Ajita when they bring him in a playoff game.
Oh yeah, it's going to bring everyone, it's going to give everyone Ajita when they bring him in. It's just, but this was a very big win,
huge,
big series win. Again, with the Orioles losing before the Yankees won.
Oh yeah.
People on Twitter are like, all right, try and do this now, because the Yankees are now 5-8 in extra inning games this season.
Yeah, it's been not great.
Awful. That's why I was like, no, don't tie. You got to pull ahead. Like, you have to win, because it's just a chore watching this team in extra innings. But
they're the kind of team, though, I'll say this, that this Royals team, to close out what they did with the Royals, even though the Yankees won this series, they are a team you do not want to face in October.
No,
they are an annoying team. Like they are. That's what they are. They're an annoying team to play because they do all the little things really, really well.
Yep, I would agree with that. All right, coming up next, we're going to take a look at the remaining schedule, and I mean, obviously, the Yankees just have to win, but we're going to talk about what's coming up for them. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notification so you know when our videos go up. Also, reply to the pinned comment on our videos Monday through Thursday if you would like your questions answered for Fan Mail Friday. It's the last call for Fan Mail Friday because it's tomorrow, because today is Thursday's episode. So leave your questions under the pinned comment on YouTube, or join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. There's a link in the description. You'll get text from us. You can text us the questions there. You can text comments, ideas for the show. Hey, if you want to come up with a segment for the show, feel free to do that too, because we'll take your ideas. It'll be fun. There's a 14-day free trial. Coming up, let's look at that schedule.
PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And unlike other apps, on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks, and with as little as 4 correct picks. Want to play PrizePicks alongside Drewski, Joe Budden, and MMA champ Sugar Sean O'Malley? You can now find community plays under the promos tab of the app to view entries from some of the biggest names in PrizePicks community each week. Guys, there's many things you can pick, right? Baseball season's finishing up. Football's just starting. College football, NFL, NBA is getting going soon. All of it is there, and all of it's available on PrizePicks. Here's what you got to do. You got to download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB. You get $50 instantly when you play $5. The code LOCKEDONMLB on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. And Locked On Yankees is also brought to you by FanDuel. You've heard us talk a lot about FanDuel. It's America's #1 sports book. Well, we have something a little different for you. Now, through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a free 3-week trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with the YouTube base plan, you'll be able to watch every single regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime you want. And if that's not enough, be sure to check out FanDuel's Profit Boost in the app and use it for FanDuel's double your winnings for all of Sunday, 9/15. It's a pregame money line bet. Profit Boost will be live starting Thursday, 9/12. View your account page to learn more about your boost. All you got to do is bet the entire slate on Sunday. On FanDuel.com, you can bet any games you want, over-unders, totals, yardage, props. They got everything available. It's all available on FanDuel. Friday, Saturday, college football, Sunday NFL. It's all available. All you got to do is visit FanDuel.com to download America's #1 sportsbook. Welcome back, and thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, enjoy the Locked On MLB podcast. It's with host Paul Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully. He is here daily to provide the national expertise with his trademark humor to help you get ready for the MLB playoffs. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day on Locked On MLB. It's available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. It's part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Don't forget that you can catch every pitch of the Yankees' hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. So, Stacey, we're really in the home stretch here. Not a lot of games left for either team, Yankees or the Orioles. Those are the two teams we're really focused on most going at the end of the year. And I'm going to bring up both schedules. From the eye test, I haven't looked at the metrics, but from the eye test, the Orioles have a much easier finish to their season. So, as we know, the Yankees go into Boston for a 4-game series. The last time of the year they said they'll see the Red Sox. Not into Boston. Boston comes to New York. For the last 4 times of the year that they'll see Boston, and then it gets tough. The Yankees will go to Seattle for a West Coast road trip for 3 games against Seattle, starting next Tuesday. And then they're going to stay on the West Coast and play the Oakland Athletics for 3 games. Not easy. Seattle's about a 500 team all year. They've really gone under expectations, especially with the trades they made at the deadline. They really made a lot of moves to upgrade, and they've just not taken advantage of it at all. The Athletics are a spunky team. They're like 20 games under 500, but they win games. They win games late. They stay in games. That series to me reeks of the Yankees losing 2 out of 3.
Oh, yeah.
Such a Yankees loss of a series.
Also because it's Oakland. No matter how they play, they tend to not do well in Oakland. Like the team, like they could be 50 games under 500, and the Yankees would have a problem with them. I hate when they play in Oakland.
Very strange.
Yeah.
And then they come home for the biggest series really in a long time. They're going to play the Orioles for 3 games. It's going to be all these games are now TBS is doing the Tuesday game. ESPN has the Wednesday game. And it looks like Thursday as of now is going to be Yes Network or whatever, but they're all 7:00 games. They're all primetime games. Both teams have lined up their starters to be pitching, their top guys to be pitching in that series. Plain and simple, that's your make it or break it series. It just feels like the playoffs, not the playoffs, but the division, the American League East, is going to come down to that series. It really does. It's going to come down to who wins that series, who plays the best. It's in the Bronx, so you have that little bit of advantage. But other than that, it's an impossible series to play, and it's a tough place to be in. The winner of that series is going to deserve the division. Let's put it that way. And then, Stacey, you'll close it out with 3 games against the Pirates at the end. Really not too simple of a final stretch of the season, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Seattle-Oakland stretch scares me. But I will
especially
say,
going out to the West Coast.
But I will say the West Coast trip earlier in the year scared me, and they did amazing on that trip. So you never know, because of the way this team is played. When you expect them to do well, they don't. And when you don't expect them to do well, they're fine. So we'll see how that goes. You never know.
You are right. I'll give you that. But at this point in the season, it does scare me a little bit. Not a great time to have to go out to the West Coast. But you're right. I mean, early in the year, we had no confidence.
Yeah,
they don't usually play
they're
West Coast
having a trip that late.
Right.
Right.
No, I feel like usually it's in August.
Yeah. For some reason, a few years in a row, or like it was 2 out of 3, they played in Oakland on my birthday. And I was like, why do I have to stay up for, when I was hosting the show by myself? I'm like, why do I have to stay up and watch this? This is annoying. Like West Coast trips are tiring.
And then after watching. Well, so I want to go into the Orioles series, what they have left, because that's really, this is who you're competing against. Yes, you want the top record in the American League with Cleveland, but I don't think it matters necessarily as much. You want the division. Mm-hmm. And so the Orioles will now, over the weekend going into Friday, they have the off day tomorrow, or Thursday. Today they have an off day. Friday they go into playing the Tigers in Detroit. They'll play 3 games against the Tigers in Detroit. Tigers a little over 500, spunky team. Teams kind of team the Orioles have struggled with of late.
Right.
Then they'll come home for a 3-game set against the Giants, who again 500 team, a team that the type of team the Orioles will struggle against. Then Detroit comes to Baltimore. They'll play 3 games against Detroit in Baltimore, another tough series for them. They play the Yankees for those 3 games, and then Baltimore goes to Minnesota to close their season out. The only difference with the Minnesota series, and we've mentioned this before, that series probably not going to mean much for Minnesota. They'll more than likely have their spot locked up. so it's not going to mean as much. You wonder how that plays out.
Right.
I look at the Orioles schedule, and the team matchups are easier, right? On paper, it's easier. But these are teams that, haven't had anything to play for a while. They're spunky teams. They're not going to give up on their seasons. No. And the Orioles have struggled against teams with 500 records all year. So I don't have an immense amount of confidence that they're going to, lose these games. But heck, Stacey, I thought they were going to struggle against Boston, and they wound up losing 2 out of 3 against Boston. So you really don't know.
Yeah, it's just the way the season has gone. Like I said, all these teams, you expect the good team to do well against the bad team, and sometimes that's just not how it happens.
Yeah. It's wild. So, right now, what's your gut tell you? Baltimore or the Yankees?
For the division?
Where's your gut-o-meter? Yeah.
Yankees.
Yeah,
I'm at half a game.
Yeah, I'm at 75-25 right now, Yankees.
Yeah.
That's my feeling. Like it just feels like they got the easier schedule, and it doesn't feel like Baltimore's going to be able to put together a stretch of wins to solidify themselves. Now a 1.5 lead for the Yankees. But again, we'll see, because the Yankees could easily lose 2 out of 3 to Seattle, and then it's flipped around. So you got to stay consistent. You got to win ball games. It's really come down to every individual game is mattering so much for this team. It's not even about series anymore. Every individual game is huge.
I would just like to toot my own horn that I predicted this.
Toot.
Yep. I saw this coming. I saw the Yankees and Orioles being neck and neck for the last however many weeks of the season. It just felt that way, but I thought it was going to be different. You know what I mean? Like, I thought both teams are going to be really good and not struggle, wins, but both do really, you know what I mean? Yeah, like that kind of a thing. Like how the Braves and the Mets 2 seasons ago, or when was that? 2 seasons ago, when they both finished with 100 wins, but the Mets were,
not swept in Atlanta.
Yeah, I pictured that kind of a finish, not this sort of back and forth, because each team can't take control, like a lot of control of the division. So it's just been interesting to watch how it's unfolded. But yeah, it's definitely coming down probably to that second to last series. And I mean, it's not the first time we've seen, it's not the first time we've seen that.
They've all set their staffs up to face each other at the top of the staff. Like they know it too.
05, the Yankees and Red Sox played the last series of the year, and the Yankees pulled out the division in like the last game, and the Red Sox didn't even realize it, which was even funnier. So they're like, "Oh, we got the wild card? Yeah, you got the wild card. Yankees beat you." So it's just interesting to see it come down to that. And, the schedule makers, or at least MLB, looking at the schedule, was probably like, nice.
They knew what they were doing. Yeah.
Oh, this is good. Yeah. And they even thought that the last series for Baltimore against Minnesota would mean something because of Minnesota's spot in the AL Central, when they were looking at everything. So, but it's just... what a season. I can't believe I can't believe it's September 12th. Like, this is just crazy to me.
It's
because,
wild.
It feels like yesterday that opening day, and, excited about Juan Soto, and Juan Soto also snapping out of not hitting a home run since when did he hit his last home run?
Absolute bomb too.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good.
You need both of them to start heating up. I wish they could find a rest date for Judge. They're not going to be able to.
Right. Because, they have to win these games against Boston. This isn't an easy series at all.
Not at all. And Boston would love nothing more than to play spoiler, too.
Right. And that's a good segue. We're going to preview the Yankees and the Red Sox coming up next. Even the most dedicated gym goers struggle with consistency. The commute, waiting for weights, other people's sweat. It makes skipping a workout very tempting. With Tonal, you can choose from thousands of workouts and train in a way you actually enjoy at home. Tonal is the world's smartest and most effective strength training system that helps you get stronger. Powered by AI, Tonal learns with every rep so it can deliver workouts personalized just for you. Tonal learns from your movement and provides suggested weight recommendations for every move with detailed progress reports. They even create personalized program and workout suggestions or recommendations based on your individual goals. It's like having a personal trainer at home with you, as Tonal optimizes every workout just for you. Unlike traditional gym equipment, Tonal uses adaptive digital weight to advance your training techniques. From professional athletes to the mom of 3, Tonal is trusted by thousands who have become their strongest. Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Tonal.com and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off. Welcome back to Locked On Yankees. Remember, you can catch every pitch of the Yankees' hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. All right, previewing the final Yankees-Red Sox series of the season. Thank you, because it's been enough. They don't even play 19 games anymore, and I'm sick of them. So interestingly enough, Thursday, 7:15 start, because it's a Fox game. So it's a Thursday Fox game, but it's the only national game out of the four
shocking.
games. Hallelujah. I'm so excited. Cooper Criswell against Nestor Cortez.
Yeah, 6-4, 4-11 for Cooper Criswell. Nestor 9-10, 3.97. I don't know how his ERA got under 3. Got under 4.
Under 4,
I
yeah.
have no idea. But it did. And, if you can get a performance at Nestor, you're gonna need it. If Nestor wants to prove himself or redeem himself from his comments last week, this is the time to do it.
Yep. Friday's game is a 7:05 start. Tanner Houck against Clark Schmidt. So Schmidt's making his second start back from the IL. Should be interesting to see how he does in that game. Hopefully he does well.
Very key to see how he's going to look. Houck 8-10 with a 3.24. Schmidt 5-3 with a 2.34. He's been incredible all year. I really can't believe how good Schmidt's been. It's going to be the last 3 starters of this series, right? Schmidt, Cole, Rodon. I'll give you guys a little bit of teaser there. Massively important to see how they're going to go through the rest of this series and how they're going to close it out, because they've struggled with the Red Sox all year. They really have. And the Red Sox don't really have much to play for anymore because they've pretty much played their way out of the wild card race. It's a massive start for Clark Schmidt. These games will all feel like playoff games.
Yeah. Saturday afternoon, 1:05 start, Brian Bayo against Garrett Cole. We'll see how Garrett Cole does against Rafael Devers, because he always gives him a problem. I thought it was very funny. They had the Hispanic media ask him questions because they had a special event at Yankee Stadium. And one guy asked him, which Hispanic player gives you and he was like, Rafael Devers.
Bello is coming in with a 13-7, 4.70. Now, he had really good numbers to start the year with the Red Sox and has completely fallen off. Garrett Cole 6-4, 3.36. Since he's stabilized, he's been incredible for them. He's been so good. He's clearly been the number one. A crazy stat that I want to bring up here because it is just miraculous. Garrett Cole's thrown 75 innings this year, which is way less than his normal workload, obviously, because of the injury. Garrett Cole has 85 strikeouts.
Nice.
He's likely going to finish the year with 100 strikeouts on the year, and he's not even going to play half the year. It's incredible how good he is.
Yeah. And then the finale on Sunday, 1:35, Cutter Crawford against Carlos Rodon.
What'll definitely be the lowest TV ratings for this series because of football. Cutter Crawford, supposed to be the Red Sox ace, really came into the year pitching so well. And another guy that's just completely fallen off for them. 8-14 with a 4.09 ERA. Rodon 14-9, he'll be going for his 15th win with a 4.21. How the heck is Nestor Cortez's ERA lower than Rodon's? Does that make any sense to you?
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I think Rodon just had more big time starts where he's given up a lot of runs. Whereas but in the games where he pitches well, he doesn't give up anything. He's a complete ace. Whereas Nestor consistently is giving up 4 runs a game.
Yeah.
He's more consistent, but on the level that you don't really want him to be. Does that makes sense?
Yeah, and Nestor has the length issue. He had a few starts where he went 7,
Yeah.
Right? Marlins, he went 7. The
But
White
Rodon
Sox, he went 7.
Rodon pretty much always gets you into the 6th at least.
Yeah. So that should be an interesting matchup. So yeah, no ESPN game this weekend. Thank you.
Huge.
So happy
Absolutely
about
massive.
that. Before we go, let's wish James Paxton good luck and farewell. He's going to retire after the season. That was announced on Wednesday.
The Big Maple.
Big Maple, thank you for that big game in 2019. It's a bummer that your Yankee career didn't work out and your back acted up, because he seemed like a cool dude, it seemed like his teammates were pulling for him and everything. And on a shallow note, his wife was an awesome dresser. They had some sort of event where she wore this really cool pantsuit, and I was like, who is that? And then I saw on Getty Images that it was James Paxton's wife, and I was like, wow, I like her style. Pretty cool. So best wishes to him. Yeah. Look, I noticed that stuff. That's the beauty of being a lady person. Because we can like sports and we can like fashion as well. So, that's the way it works. But good luck to him. Oh God, it's rough seeing these guys retire because he's not old.
No.
And and he's been all over the place the past few years, and
it's time.
It's just his body doesn't want to help him out.
Nope.
And that sometimes happens with some guys. It's your time.
Former Dodger, former Mariner, former Blue Jay,
Red Sox, Yankees.
Red Sox. Yeah, he's been all over.
Yeah. So good luck to him. So big series for the Yankees, even though the Red Sox don't really have anything to play for, but they like being pains in the butt. So
they could be.
Yeah. So the Yankees need to not let up off the gas in this series.
No, not at all.
They know. The Yankees know. I just want them to stop speaking as if they think that things are going to just turn around like that, Like, oh yeah, we know. Yeah, no, we all know that but could you do something?
Yeah, do it. Exactly.
Like, could you rattle off a bunch of wins in a row? That'd be great. Thank you. Feels like I'm pulling teeth. Yeah. But they know. It's all right in front of them, right? You know what's right in front of us? The end of the show. One more time.
Yes.
You can catch every pitch of the Yankees hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. We'd like to thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today and every day. Now go check out the Locked On MLB podcast. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day. The link to Locked On MLB is in our description, so you don't need to search. It's part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And make sure you check out the Locked On Yankees postcast right here on the Locked On Yankees podcast feed, as well as streaming on Locked On Sports New York on YouTube. Get rapid reaction to all the biggest moments with the Locked On Yankees postcast and host Jay Berman. So that'll do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll see you tomorrow for Fan Mail Friday.